Good evening. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. Governor Inslee in Spokane today visiting Ukrainian refugees and addressing other local issues like homelessness and the completion of the North-South Freeway. The governor taking questions from KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk, who's joining us now live. Hi, Kyle.
Well, Whitney, the governor and his wife made several stops across Spokane. He says the completion of the North-South Freeway is a priority, and so is railroad safety following several derailments across the country. Washington Governor Inslee having lunch in Spokane with Ukrainian refugees, a day after speaking to President Zelensky over Zoom.
The first thing he said is, we are going to rebuild Ukraine.
Inslee toured Thrive International. The center serves nearly 200 men, women, and children who fled the war.
Spokane has been one of the centers of helping people from Ukraine in the whole United States. I'm very proud of our state.
After lunch, Inslee went inside Spokane's newest indoor sports complex, the Podium.
And it seems to be a really raging success.
Inslee spoke on the need for more affordable housing in the state. He says the private sector isn't building enough.
I'm asking the legislature this year to step up the plate and do $1 billion. I'd like to have a longer-term financing, but we need to go big so people can go home.
Inslee says completing the North-South Freeway is a statewide priority. However, KREM 2 reported in January the governor's proposed budget would delay the project by 6 years.
At the moment, I am concerned that we haven't had the prioritization that we need that allows us to actually get that project done.
Well, it doesn't seem like it was a priority in your proposed budget, delaying it by 6 years.
It is a priority, but we delayed a lot of other projects as well. I hope we can get this project done.
Back in February, the nation watched as people in Ohio and Pennsylvania were evacuated after a train derailed, spilling toxic chemicals. There's been other derailments since then. Governor, every day we have train cars carrying oil, other hazardous materials through the heart of downtown Spokane. What is your office doing to ensure what happened in Ohio doesn't happen in Spokane, Seattle, or Washington State?
We're doing everything humanly possible. We're trying to use all of our legal ways to increase our safety on our railroads. Unfortunately, the federal government has preempted our ability to do many of the things, frankly, I would like to do. And I would like the Congress to change the laws so that we have more restrictions on oil transports.
In Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Also tonight, Idaho now has a new law preventing transgender care for children after Governor Brad Little signed House Bill 71 yesterday. It means doctors could go to prison for up to 10 years if they provide transgender care to minors in the state. The law makes it a felony to provide transition-related surgeries, puberty blockers, and hormone therapies to minors. Some parents of trans kids say this is a mistake.
It's frustrating that the state is trying to get in the way of parents and doctors and medical professionals and taking away choices that they don't scrutinize in any other area of medicine. So it definitely feels targeted and aggressive towards the trans community. It's not just life-saving, it's life-affirming.
The law takes effect on January 1st of next year. And also in Idaho tonight, minors in the state can no longer cross state lines to get a legal abortion without parental consent. KREM 2's Thea Skokin breaks down this new law.
House Bill 242 has been making its way through the legislature for weeks now before landing on Governor Little's desk. His signature means anyone who helps a pregnant minor across state lines to get an abortion without their parents' permission could face jail time. But what exactly does that mean? Today, Idaho Governor Brad Little signing the so-called abortion trafficking bill, which will become law in 30 days. But there has been some confusion around what that means. To be clear, it is still legal for an adult to travel across state lines to receive an abortion. The bill defines abortion trafficking as an adult who, with the intent to conceal an abortion from the parents or guardian of a pregnant, unemancipated minor, either procures an abortion or obtains abortion-inducing drugs for the pregnant minor. That means the person bringing the child across state lines must have intentionally not received consent from the child's parents. If someone is convicted of abortion trafficking under those stipulations, they're facing 2 to 5 years in prison. Even if local prosecutors refuse to try a case citing lack of evidence, Idaho Attorney General says the state will prosecute instead. According to Labrador's interpretation of the law, medical providers could also be prosecuted for providing abortion medications or for referring a patient to travel across state lines. That interpretation is now being challenged by Idaho physicians and several branches of Planned Parenthood. The president and CEO of Planned Parenthood Federations of America released a statement after the signing saying, quote, "Young people seeking abortions deserve our compassion and support, not the extreme government overreach this law sanctions." Idaho is the first state to pass this type of law. Just a few days ago, Washington Governor Gov Inslee wrote a letter to Governor Little urging him not to sign the bill, saying he was concerned about the impacts we'd see right here in Washington. Governor Little never publicly responded. In the studio, Thea Spokane, KREM 2 News.
All right, hopefully you found a way to enjoy some of that sunshine out there today, because it looks like at least the rest of the week and hey, maybe even beyond, we'll be seeing a lot more clouds and rain. Turning now to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo.
Yeah, it's just one of those springs that we just can't seem to catch a break. Right now, temperatures are in the 30s, but it's upper 30s, so quite a bit warmer than where we sat 24 hours ago. But keep in mind, with a little mix of clouds and clear skies, we'll likely continue to see temps drop, maybe not as drastically as last night, but still drop nonetheless. A little bit of moisture now working its way into the west side, and that continues to filter in and kind of gets hung up on the Cascades as we move through the day tomorrow. We stay dry through most of the day, but I'm going to go ahead and call it mostly cloudy. Eventually, we see that moisture move in early Friday and kind of linger through much of the day. That moisture sticks around here in Spokane as we head into the weekend, but it does look like Friday offers us most of what we see over the course of the next few days. We'll get our first round Friday, catch a break, and then it kind of looks like we have light scattered showers Saturday and Sunday before more widespread rain returns to the forecast Monday, and that takes us back into a more inclement, cooler weather pattern by the middle of next week.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. And in national news tonight, severe storms continue to rip through the South and the Midwest. Take a look. Dramatic eyewitness video shows the moment this tornado whipped through a field in Iowa. Another tornado killed 5 people in Missouri when it struck down just before dawn today. It was part of a storm system that put up to 40 million people at risk today alone, from Illinois to Tennessee. A California woman has now been charged with 3 felony counts of poisoning after hidden cameras caught her pouring Drano into her husband's tea. He actually had installed those cameras in their kitchen after noticing that his morning tea was tasting funny and he was starting to suffer from stomach ulcers. He also collected samples of the tea and turned them over to the FBI. That's when testing confirmed they did in fact contain drain cleaner. The husband has since recovered and is now taking care of their children. The wife is behind bars. All right, now to Night Beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. An East Valley High School student accused of making threats was in court today. According to new court documents, a student in the group chat that contained those threats against LGBTQ students was the one who first reported it to police. During a search of the 2 juvenile students' homes, investigators located a variety of pistols, shotguns, and airsoft guns. The 3rd student suspect, who just turned 18, appeared in court today, saying he posted a photo of his hand holding an airsoft gun as a joke. His father spoke on his behalf in court this afternoon.
My son's a good kid. He's never been in trouble, ever. I don't know what to say. I'm disappointed in him for, involving himself in a conversation, but he never said he's threatening anybody. He's done, none of this stuff was found in my house. There was nothing, incriminating at all, sir, Your Honor. I need my son back.
The public defender argued the student made no statements threatening the school building itself. However, the judge ruled otherwise and set that student's bond at $100,000. Today marks day 3 of jury selection in the Lori Valo trial in Boise. Since Monday, 35 potential jurors have passed through to the next phase. Many potential jurors were excused because of concerns over how long the trial could go or the possibility of being sequestered away from their families for so long. The judge said at this time he has no plans to isolate jurors, but he also has not yet made a final decision about sequestering them during final deliberations. Spokane police responded to a drive-by shooting near Underhill Park today. This one person was shot and injured, but then drove themselves to the hospital. They are expected to be okay. No word yet on a suspect or a motive. That was your Night Beat. If you'd like to learn more about any of those stories, just text the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000. We'll send them right to your phone. And that was KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. Also tonight, gut-wrenching video out of Portland tonight showing a boat with fishing gear weaving back and forth, appearing to intentionally hit dozens of sea lions. This is hard to watch. A witness said the driver went straight through one pack and seemed to circle around directly into another. A local man said some fishermen have viewed the sea lions as competition because they eat so much of the fish population. They're now looking for the driver of that boat. Sea lions are federally protected under the Marine Mammal Protection Act, which makes it illegal to harass or kill them.